Speak Your Mind Radio is an internet radio community on DLive, broadcasting abducted child alerts, missing person cases, and bringing breaking and top news to you affecting our world, along with music and talk radio.
Thanks for listening.
This webcaster uses Radio Amber, the Internet Radio Amber Alert System, helping to keep your children safe. A public service from the Internet broadcasting community and this station.
Hello and good evening and welcome back to the channel. If you're someone who enjoys staying updated on breaking news, missing person cases, human trafficking, or true crime stories, then this is the perfect place for you. Don't miss out, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. Or you can catch me over on DLive on dlive.tv/SYM radio. Tonight I'm bringing you some updates from my last video. There are 3 key developments I want to share with you. First, the Apalachee High School shooter, Colin Gray, is now being charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. In a related update, his father, Colin Gray, age 54, was arrested today in connection to the shooting at the high school. The father of the alleged teen gunman who killed 4 people in Georgia school shooting Wednesday told police this week that he gave the boy the AR-15 style rifle used in the massacre as a Christmas gift last year. Law enforcement sources told the Post. Where is your brain, dude? You don't give an AR-15 to a 15-year-old. You're not even allowed to have a gun at that age. So thank God you were arrested today. Suspected shooter Colin Gray, 14, unleashed a haul of bullets inside Apalachee High School in Windsor Wednesday morning, killing 2 students and 2 teachers before he was taken into custody, according to authorities. The AR-15 style rifle allegedly used in the horrifying shooting was given from father to son as a gift just 7 months after authorities paid the pair a visit in May of last year, when the FBI received tips about online school shooting threats, the Bureau said. The online post sent to the agency last year included photos of guns, according to a statement from its Atlanta field office. Jackson County Sheriff investigator identified Gray, then 13, as the possible suspect, but after interviewing him and his father, Colin Gray, law enforcement did not have probable cause to take further action, the FBI said. Colin Gray, 54, told police at the time he had hunting guns in the home, but his son did not have unsupervised access to them, according to authorities. The teen also denied making the threats. But more than a year later, the younger Gray allegedly opened fire inside his high school, killing 14-year-old killing 14-year-old students Mason Sherman and Christian Angelo, and math teachers Richard Aspinwall, 39, and Christine Eremy, 53, according to authorities. Another 8 students and 1 teacher were also injured during the mass shooting before the teenage gunman surrendered to police. Colt Gray is facing 4 counts of murder in connection to the gunfire. In connection to the gunfire, and his father has since been arrested on similar charges, police said. Colin Gray was arrested Thursday and charged with 4 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children, the Georgia Bureau investigation said. And there was also another one. Here. Police have released a mugshot for Georgia school shooting suspect Colt Gray. As his aunt said, the 14-year-old was begging for help prior to the shooting. The mugshot shows baby-faced Gray with long, dyed hair and a blank stare. The first pictures of Gray emerged on Thursday, with one showing him in his 2022 yearbook, smiling and wearing a thick necklace and a red Georgia Bulldogs T-shirt. The alleged gunman would have been age 12 or 13. Gray was taken into custody Wednesday, minutes after he allegedly opened fire in Apalachee High School in Winder, Georgia, killing 2 federal students and 2 leaders, according to authorities. So he was crying out for help. Uh, this is his aunt, Andy Brown, told the Washington Post on Thursday that the boy has been begging for help from everybody around him. She said he had been struggling with his mental health prior to the shooting. The adults around him failed him, she lamented. Brown, who lives in Florida, declined to elaborate on her nephew's mental health struggles, but said she tried to get him help from a distance. The Georgia school shooting suspect Colt Gray's broken home life, a mom with multiple drug arrests, and a dad who gave him an AR-15 for Christmas. Colt Gray, the babyface Georgia school shooting suspect, who is charged with murdering 2 classmates and 2 teachers, grew up in a broken and neglected home which police and child services visited on a regular basis, a former neighbor and landlord told the Post. His mother, Marcy, 43, has a lengthy rap sheet with drug and domestic violence arrests, and his father, Colin, 54, allegedly bought his troubled son an AR-15 rifle for Christmas. I can't even talk tonight. Sorry about that. And now faces charges of his own for supplying the weapon used in the shooting. Lauren Vickers, who lives next door to the Grays in Jefferson, Georgia, said there were problems immediately when the Grays and their 3 children moved into the well-manicured neighborhood 60 miles east of Atlanta in 2022. There were nights where the mom would lock him and his sister out of the house, and they would be banging on the back door, just screaming like, "Mom, Mom, Mom." It was absolutely devastating, she said. Victor said that sometimes the youngest child would come to her backyard asking for food. No clean clothes. I'm not exaggerating. It was constant abuse, she said. It's very, very sad. Gray's maternal grandmother told CNN Thursday night that he was just a good kid who lived in an environment that was hostile. His dad beat up on him. I mean, I'm not talking about physical, but screaming and hollering, and he did the same thing to my daughter, Charles Polhammer said, adding that the boy did not show any outward anger issues but was affected by his upbringing. Now investigators seeking to understand the suspect's motive are looking into his family's previous contacts with the State Child Protective Services Agency, the Georgia Bureau Investigation Director said on Wednesday. Colt, 14, was charged as an adult on Thursday with 4 counts of the murder after Wednesday's shooting at Apalachee High School in Winder. Wow. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? All this abuse he's had and seen and felt. I know it took me a while. I mean, I was abused when I was young and a kid. I mean, those nights I go hungry with no food. But you don't want to hear that. And I don't want to get into it. And this is a story from CNN that explains a little bit more. The Georgia high school shooting suspect referenced Parkland massacre in writings found in his bedroom, source says. Authorities searching the home of the 14-year-old accused of killing 4 people at a Georgia high school this week found documents that they believe he wrote referencing past school shootings. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation told CNN. The source said that the writings were discovered in the bedroom of suspect Colt Gray and included references to the 2018 massacre of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. Wow. This discovery, which could shed more light on a motive for shooting, comes amid an emerging portrait of Gray's tumultuous family life in the years leading up to the deadly attack. Revealed in a CNN review of court and law enforcement records, social media posts, and an interview with his grandfather. As that portrait has emerged, so have details about the investigation and authorities' pursuit of those they allege bear responsibility in the shooting. Gray told investigators, "I did it," while being questioned. Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith told CNN on Thursday. And while Gray faces 4 counts of felony murder, Gray's father, Colin, has been arrested in connection with the shooting, accused of knowingly allowing his son to possess a weapon. Georgia Bureau Investigations Director Chris Hulsey said Thursday Colin Gray was charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children, the Georgia Bureau Investigation said. As for Colt Gray's family situation, his parents went through a bitter separation and custody dispute in recent years. They called law enforcement on each other. The family was evicted from at least one home, and Gray's mother was arrested on suspicion of keying her husband's car and drug possession, law enforcement records show. At the same time, Gray's mother and maternal grandfather have accused Gray's father of being verbally abusive toward his family for years. Wow. He was just a good kid, but he lived in an environment that was hostile, Charles Palmer said of Colt Gray, his grandson, in an interview with CNN. I have not been able to find that yet. I was hoping I could find it. His dad beat up on him. I mean, I'm not talking about physical, but screaming. Okay, we've already read that part. Grandfather said he had never seen Colt Gray show any kind of anger problems, but that the turbulent family life had affected the teenager. Now investigators are seeking to understand the suspect's motive, are looking into his family's previous contacts with the State and Child Protective Services Agency, the Georgia Bureau Investigation Director said on Wednesday. Wow. Oh, I know, kids who are abused, at a young age. And throughout the years, it does do a number on them. It's hard to understand. I hope this kid gets help. I really do. And in another case, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office has arrested and charged a teenager for threatening to commit a school shooting. Deputies received a report of a threat made on a bus between schools in Jackson County on Wednesday afternoon. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says they have arrested and charged a teenager with threatening to commit a school shooting. They say deputies were made aware of a report of a threat made on the bus from one school to another school in Jackson County on Wednesday afternoon. Investigators say the 15-year-old, who has not been identified, made statements about the deadly shooting at Apalachee High School. They say the teenager said he was planning on finishing the job and shooting another school in the Jackson County. Jackson County is located next to Barrow County, where the deadly shooting occurred on Wednesday. The teenager has since been taken to the Regional Youth Detention Center in Gainesville. On Wednesday morning, 4 people were shot and killed inside Apalachee High School. 9 others were. Okay. Wow. To finish the job. This is terrible. Just, and just today, we had a lockdown in Jaffrey, New Hampshire high school, but nobody got hurt. There was no problems. Thank God nobody got hurt. And, they searched the whole campus and everything was fine. They cleared it. So, but thank God, God, I mean, these shootings have got to stop. We all should get together, everyone in the nation, get together and pray. Pray for our country, pray for our safety, and for the people who have mental illness. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I'm going to leave you off with the audio. Actually, CNN obtained the audio calls, the recording from the FBI's investigation when the Jackson County Sheriff's Office had went to investigate when they got the report of those online threats, and then at the press conference, I will leave that. It was recorded previously, so I'll go ahead and play that for you if you haven't seen it yet. If you have liked this video, please hit that like button because it helps out with the algorithm and gets me more views. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when I go live or do another video. Now, my comments on all of this is the FBI, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and law enforcement all knew about this. He was on the watch list for over a year. Yet, the father told the FBI that Colt couldn't access the guns. Then he buys him one for Christmas. I feel the FBI and law enforcement need to be held accountable too for this, for dismissing their investigation. Because this tragedy could have been avoided. Unfortunately, also, some parents don't take their children's mental health seriously. And I truly hope this serves as a wake-up call for others. Ignoring these issues could lead to tragic consequences, with prison being the only outcome for their children. Again, thanks for watching. You can also check me out over on DLive at DLive.tv, SYM Radio. It's free to sign up there. In order to chat in the room, you have to sign up for a free account. There's nothing to get charged for nothing. It's all free. All right. So have a good night, and I'll see you in my next video.
Of the sheriff's questioning the alleged 14-year-old shooter last year before he allegedly carried out yesterday's mass shooting at his high school in Georgia, in which he killed 4 people and injured 9 more. Here's what he said when investigators asked him about tips at the time, last year in school, that he was allegedly threatening a school shooting.
Have you heard anybody on Discord when you were using it say something like that? Do you remember?
Like, at that time?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm not trying to get anybody hemmed up, but like, this is some serious stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he knows how serious it is, trust me.
Because I'd hate to, you know, my boss was even like, you know, I don't know how old this information is, and if you want to wait till Monday to follow up, I was like, nah, I'd rather do it now, because
So would we.
Because God forbid something happened and I didn't
Yeah.
do my job, I'd feel pretty bad about that. Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down.
Okay.
We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so like I'm pretty much in shock, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you. If that is what was said.
That, Tim, that he's referring to are the threats about shooting a school that they brought in Colt Gray, the alleged shooter here, to ask him about. So 7 months after that conversation, when they're talking, that's the father talking about his son's access to guns. 7 months after that conversation, he gives him a gun.
Good evening. We wanted to come back and update you on the progress of the case this evening. I appreciate you being here. In coordination with the District Attorney Brad Smith, the GBI has arrested Colin Gray, age 54, in connection to the shooting here at Apalachee High School. Colin is Colt Gray's father that was arrested yesterday. He is charged with the following: 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Mr. Gray, these charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to possess a weapon. This is a very difficult time, as we know, for students and parents, and so many I know of students and parents here in this county and around this state are afraid. You all have likely seen reports of incidents of other students making threats today at various schools around our state. In each of these incidents, police, law enforcement took charges, they made arrests, acted very swiftly, as we take incidents like this very seriously across this state. This is a time for all of us as a community and a state to come together and remain vigilant. Students must be supported and encouraged here in this community and across this state to contact a member of their school faculty with any and all concerns of suspicious activity that they may see. Local, state, and federal law enforcement will continue to work together around the clock in relation to this incident here and any other incidents that come up around this state that raise concern to the safety of our students, faculty, and citizens here in the state of Georgia. Additionally, Colt Gray, that was arrested yesterday for this incident, has now been charged with 4 counts of felony murder. And again, we will continue to work tirelessly to complete this investigation as we move forward. I will go ahead and mention to you, and as I say sometimes, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you. As y'all all know, that this is a murder investigation. It is a very serious investigation, one that we take serious, one that we will continue to diligently work on and be very thorough with it, with the GBI and our local partners here. So you'll have to forgive us if we don't answer a lot of the questions that you ask. I know you have many, and we wish we could answer many of them for you, but we still obviously want to maintain the integrity of this investigation because it has a long way to go for it to be finished. Again, I also want to remind everyone that we need to continue to pray and support the victims that were involved here, the school teachers, the faculty, the students, obviously those that lost their lives, their families, and those that were injured. So I'd like to call on the sheriff to come and give you a brief update on the status of those that were injured from yesterday's event. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Hosey. As Director Hosey said, I'd like to say that obviously we're lifting up those families. Our hearts are hurting for them, our kids, our students, our teachers. But the 9 injured, I am very happy to say will make a full recovery. And that's a testament to the response that we had, in my opinion, the response that medical staff responded with, in my opinion, and we're very happy to say that they will make a full recovery after that response. Again, please lift up our community. Please keep these children, these teachers. We call them teachers, but I call them heroes. We met with them today. Emotions are very high, obviously, but we told them that we love them. We love our teachers and what they do, and we're very happy at the fact that they stood in the gap between evil to protect their children, and we want to include them in the lives that were saved as well yesterday. But I wanted to report to you that all 9 people that are injured will expect to make a full recovery. Thank you.
Are they still in the hospital?
Several of them are still in the hospital. Some have been released.
And Director, can you please explain, did the father actually give the gun to the suspect?
Well, I'm gonna leave it as how I mentioned it in the release, that he knowingly allowed him to possess the weapon.
Director, can you tell us about how the arrest happened today? Did you turn himself in? Did you guys make contact with them? How did that go with investigators this afternoon with that arrest?
I'm honestly not familiar with the details. All I can tell you is that he is in custody at this time.
And is it likely anyone else will be arrested in this case, or is that still just,
It's difficult to say at this point in time. We're obviously still investigating this, following all leads, all evidence, and we'll set to see where it takes us as we progress forward.
Director, do you believe that the arrest should have been made sooner?
The arrest was made when we had the probable cause to make the arrest.
Do we know when his first court appearance will be?
I'm not sure. No.
Did the dad bring him to school?
I'm not sure about that either. I'm sorry.
Are you able to explain the charges and how he has more charges than the suspected shooter?
Not in great detail. The biggest thing, as I mentioned earlier, is that he is in custody at this point in time. His charges are directly connected with the actions of his son and allowing him to possess a weapon.
Sheriff, will he be housed in your facility? Is that where he'll be held? How does that move forward?
He'll be held in the Bexar County Detention Center.
Will his mugshot be available tonight, or will it take some time until tomorrow to get it?
It depends on how long it takes us to book him, but if it's available, we can get that to y'all tonight.
Sheriff,
if not tomorrow.
You said some good news that some have been released. Do you know the numbers of patients that have been released, victims?
I don't want to speak to that because I don't know the exact number, but I know that I want to just report that all 9 would make a full recovery and be able to leave the hospital.
Sheriff, for those 9 people that were injured, do you know if they were a mix of students and teachers or staff, or are they just students?
I believe 2 were adult teachers, and the rest, which would be 7, would be students.
Director, can you explain whether there's precedent for charges like this?
I'm sorry?
Can you explain whether there's precedent in the state of Georgia as far as the GBI is concerned for the father or parent to be charged for the crime?
I don't have any details on any history of it, but I would venture to say it's not something new.
Can you tell us about the evidence that led to these charges?
No, ma'am. That's part of the ongoing investigation. I apologize.
Sheriff, after all this time with him being able to talk with investigators, you were pretty strong yesterday. We were saying this was an evil act. It was very sad, obviously, but looking back at what the 14-year-old's been able to say to investigators over the last 24 hours, can you reflect on just what this community is facing after what he allegedly did at this school?
What we're facing, heartbreak. We're heartbroken. A young person brought a gun into a school, committed an evil act, and he took lives, and he injured many other people, not only physically but mentally. But I'm proud of Bexar County. I'm proud of our superintendent. I'm proud of these teachers. I'm proud of these schools. And I'm proud of where I live. And we'll get past this. If you see behind me, up here on the hill, we got a vigil going on at our flagpole. I welcome you to go see those kids and those young people that are hurting.
Director, can you please explain whether you're still expecting more charges?
I think I answered that earlier. Our investigation is still ongoing, so we'll see where things go with our investigation, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much. That's all we have for tonight. Continue to follow GBI on X. Please monitor our website. We did not anticipate another update, but as you can see, it's fluid. Things are developing. Again, we appreciate your patience and your support and your continued prayers for the victims. Thank you.